Today's must-have tool, the center punch. So, if X marks the spot and that's where you want your hole to be that you're going to make in your wood, the easiest way that I have found to make sure that I get it right on that X is this necessary tool here in the shop, the must-have tool. That tip right there in this spring-loaded punch, I set that right onto my X. Right there, I've got my perfect indentation of where my hole is going to go. Now, I like to use brad point bits in the shop. Brad point means it's got this little bit of a point on the end as your starter. When I've got my center punch to having marked the center of my X there, I can feel that going into that spot. I know it's right on the money every single time. I'm not down in there trying to look and see if I can find it. It's going to fit right in there every time. So a brad point bit is great. If you look at your Forstner bits that you use, bigger holes typically, it's got the same thing. It's got the guide point on there. When I'm at my drill press, I'm not having to line that up by eye. I can get it in there and I can kind of feel where it's going to go. I can know that I'm right on the money in the center of my mark every single time. Even if I'm going way back in the old files and using a big auger bit like this with a bit brace, it's got this little piece on the end here that's oftentimes called a snail. And that's threaded down in. I get that started in there. It goes right into my indent. I get my auger bit going with my bit brace. Down there my hole goes. So that's why if you want accuracy in terms of where your holes are placed in your wood, you'll use